Hey there, Exiles! Welcome back to another Path of Exile 2 video. I'm your host, and today I'm diving into all of the exciting updates and teasers we've gotten recently about the game's first major content patch, Dawn of the Hunt. We've got a new class, a brand new weapon, some quality of life changes, and a sprinkle of speculation to unpack. As always, timestamps and sources are in the description below. If you enjoyed this video or find it helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more Path of Exile 2 goodness, and stick around to the end. It's the best way to support the channel and let others know this is worth watching. Let's jump in. It's been a little bit since my last news roundup, and in that time we've had a huge announcement. Path of Exile 2's first big patch drops on April 4th, 2025. That's just a few weeks away as of today, March 15th, and I'm thrilled to see what's in store. The teaser for Dawn of the Hunt confirmed two massive additions. First, we're getting a new class, the Huntress. She's likely coming with two ascendancy options, which is standard for Path of Exile 2 classes. Second, and this might be even more exciting, we're getting the game's first new weapon of early access, the Spear, complete with its own unique skills. For those who've been following Path of Exile 2 for a while, you might remember the Huntress and the Spear from way back in 2021. They were among the earliest reveals alongside the crossbow, and even then, the Spear looked incredible. From what we've seen in those older previews, and I don't think this has changed much, the Spear is all about mobility. Think quick dives into melee range and fast retreats back out. It blends ranged and melee combat, which feels perfect for a game like this. I love how agile it looks, kind of like why the Monk's Quarterstaff feels so satisfying right now. And here's the kicker, in Path of Exile 2, weapons aren't locked to specific classes. So come April 4th, I'll be testing the Spear on the Huntress, sure, but also on every other class I can think of. It's going to be a blast. Now the teaser itself was short, only 25 seconds, but it's got me speculating. We see the Huntress with her spear, but there's another figure in there too. He's got a spear, looks similar to her, and it's got me wondering, could this be a hint at the Druid? Before early access launched, the developers mentioned in an interview that the Huntress and Druid were the next two classes planned. They didn't say they'd arrive together, but with Dawn of the Hunt as the patch name, I can't help but dream. The Huntress ties to hunting, obviously, and the Druid, with its shape-shifting into bears, wolves, and who knows what else, fits that theme perfectly too. Maybe the Druid's coming later, maybe in patch 0.3, but I'm holding out hope we'll see both soon. That leads to a wild theory. What if Dawn of the Hunt brings back a fan-favorite mechanic from Path of Exile 1, the Bestiary? If you're unfamiliar, Bestiary was a league where you hunted and captured beasts to use in crafting recipes. Crafting in Path of Exile 2 is pretty basic right now, just orbs, omens, and essences, so a revamped Bestiary could shake things up. Imagine tracking down monsters across the world, capturing them, and using them to craft gear. Plus, it could bring back Einhar Frey, that quirky NPC from the original game. He was in the 2019 Path of Exile 2 trailer, but hasn't shown up yet. Though he's listed on the game's database with a quest, I'd love to see him return. Maybe with some beastly boss fights to spice things up. Call me crazy, but I think this patch could deliver the Huntress, the Druid, Bestiary, and a few surprises. Moving on to smaller updates, we've got a neat quality of life change for weapon swapping. In Path of Exile 2, you can have two passive skill trees tied to different weapons, which is cool in theory, but tricky in practice. You need two good weapons to make it work. Patch 0.2 fixes that. Now you can use one weapon across both skill trees, no need to juggle two. I'll be honest, I've played about 300 hours of early access, wild, right, with two kids at home, and I barely touched this feature. I tried it once on my monk early on, then forgot about it. Did you use it? Did it work for you? I'm curious if this change will get more people swapping weapons, or if it'll just be a nice bonus for the dedicated few. Let me know in the comments. Next up, we've got two new support gems teased, and they're interesting to say the least. First is the Perfection support. It gives you up to 15% more damage if you chain a skill with perfect timing multiple times in a row. Sounds neat for slow, deliberate fights, like against zombies plotting towards you, but most enemies in this game move fast, especially in the end game. Maybe it's a bossing niche. I'm not a build expert, so if you've got ideas, share them below. The second is Batter Shout support. It lets you consume broken armor on enemies to deal extra damage, but it can't break armor itself. Again, it feels slow for how quick combat usually is. Unless they're slowing the game's pace in this patch, which they've hinted at wanting over the years, I'm not sure these fit. What do you think? On a lighter note, they're sprucing up essences with better visuals and sound effects. It's a small thing, but Path of Exile has always improved incrementally like this, and it's nice to see that continuing. I just hope I don't die instantly while admiring them in the endgame. Now, let's get speculative again. There's an old teaser floating around for a unique helmet, the Spiritborn Crown. Its base type isn't in the game yet, but the database suggests it's tied to Act 4. New acts bring new item bases, so could this mean Act 4 is coming with this patch? I'd love to see the campaign expand to Acts 1 through 4, then Cruel Acts 2 and 3, or maybe 1 and 2. New acts with their bosses and storylines would pull me back more than anything else right now. What about you? Exiles, let's talk about the Druid, Path of Exile 2's potential next big thing. Picture this. A shape-shifting powerhouse tearing through Wraeclast. 1 second, you're a hulking bear, tanking hits and clawing enemies to shreds. The next, you're a swift wolf darting around, ripping through packs with feral speed. And that third form, who knows, maybe a soaring hawk or a raging elemental beast. The devs hinted it's one of the next classes after the Huntress. And with Dawn of the Hunt dropping April 4th, I'm dreaming it's coming soon. Imagine pairing it with the new spear, dive in, transform, and unleash chaos. Crafting with Beastiary could tie in too, letting you harness captured beasts for wild gear. The Druid's not confirmed yet, but the hype is real. Get ready, Exiles, this could be legendary. On April 4th, when this patch hits, everything resets. No more hoarded gear, no stacked currencies from early access. It's a clean slate for everyone. That's the beauty of a new league. You're back to square one, scrambling through the wilds of Wraeclast, picking up every rusty sword and cracked orb like it's gold. And with the Huntress, the spear, and maybe even the Druid shaking things up, the market's going to be wild from day one. What's a spear worth? How much will those new skills cost to craft? It's all up in the air, and that's thrilling. A fresh economy means every drop matters. Early on, basic crafting materials, think essences or omens, could skyrocket in value as players race to gear up. If Bestiary comes with this patch, capturing beasts might flood the market with new crafting options, crashing some prices and spiking others. Traders will be hustling, build makers will be experimenting, and you could strike it rich just by finding the right item at the right time. It's not just about loot, it's about opportunity. Everyone's on the same footing, from casuals to hardcore grinders, and that chaos is where legends are made. Whether you're flipping goods or crafting your own, this reset lets you shape the economy. So get ready, Exiles. A new league's coming, and it's a whole new game. Thanks for watching, Exiles. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe for more Path of Exile 2 content, and check out my last video linked on screen. It's another deep dive you'll probably enjoy. I will see you in the next one.